Hey guys, welcome back to Troy's Garage. My name's Troy. This is my garage. In this video we're going to be working on Riggs 1972 green F100. I'm calling it Kermit DeFord because he hates that, and if I say it enough, that name will stick. So that's kind of an inside joke between me and him. In the last video you saw us drag this thing home. That was a long trip. No joke. Hotel stay the first night, and then it was about 13.5 hours of driving the next day after we scooped the truck and brought it home. We're ready to get started on this beast. I've already got it in the garage at this point, but let's show you getting it in here. Tell them what we're doing.
Riding in a truck.
We're gonna ride in the green truck. Where are we gonna put the truck?
In there.
In the garage, huh? In Troy's garage.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for a ride.
Okay. Let's do it.
Come here. I'm gonna come let you out. Oh, there we go. Yikes, Cookie. We did it.
I'm gonna go for a ride.
We did a really short ride.
But I want a really short ride.
I'm so sorry. This truck's not registered or have insurance on it.
Why?
Because it's not ready for the road yet. Grandpa has to fix it first.
And then we can have a ride in it?
Yep, but it's gonna take a little bit of work for Grandpa to get it ready. It's gonna take a while. But I gotta get started on it, huh? Well, it fits. But basically barely. I can't wait to be able to close the garage door and not hear those airplanes though. I'll tell you that right now. Pretty tight down this side as well, but it'll be enough room to do what I gotta do. Basically, I need room to raise the hood and be able to work in the engine bay. I need to be able to tear all 4 tires apart. I may actually move the truck over 6 inches or so, give me more room on that side. There's plenty of room over here. Everything that's right here can actually move. It's a straight shot back to the corner of Midnight Maroon back there, but it fits. It's in a garage for the first time and I don't even know how long, which is probably why it's so rusted. You're welcome, Green Machine. Kermit DeFord. Right? Huh? Huh? Work with me. If I say it enough times, that'll become its name. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. Kermit DeFord. I think I'm ready to get started on this thing. I just need to get a little bit organized in the garage. You know, get my tools just where I need them for tearing into the carburetor and such. And then let's get started. Yeah. I'm not even close to done. That's cute though. That might be all. Actually, yep, it sure is.
You got it.
Did it. Okay, stay right there. Don't move for a second.
That's big.
Yeah, I'm gonna move over to here.
You got it, Papa.
Yeah, let's get you down and then we'll move the chair. Take the chair over to the workbench. I have my little helper with me. She's gonna watch me rebuild this carb real quick. Put you guys on a time lapse though. Boom! Just like that. Rebuild complete. I replaced all of the, basically any of the vents that were already sealed. I sealed back up just so I can put it back on the truck in the exact same configuration that it was. Fuel inlets there. Replaced all the things inside there, cleaned it out real good. Spot on, right? So now here's the spacer. This is the one connection that I haven't replaced yet. That's just a hose with a bolt in it. I still haven't cleaned this yet, so I'm going to clean it with some carb cleaner. And then I'm going to take some epoxy and seal this opening up like I did for the one on Midnight Maroon originally before I got the new carb. This is obviously not doing anything, so therefore it doesn't need that for the way it's currently hooked up. This will be ready to go back on. Over here on the truck, turn some light on. I just got back from the O'Reilly's and got valve cover gaskets. Basically, I'm just gonna get in here and clean everything here on top. Everything that I touch, I'm gonna clean real good so that it's pretty obvious that I touched it. So here's a good solid before. I'll throw some pictures. I took a ton of pictures from every angle as well, so that Rig will know what his rig used to look like, and he'll be able to pop the hood and see, well, what it will currently look like. So that's what I'm up against now. Let me get after that. I'm going to get these valve covers popped off, clean up some of this wiring, and man, I keep smacking my head on that hood. Rigdon was making fun of me, told me I should wear my hard hat. There it is right there. Freak, that hurts. Man, that's the third time I've done that. He's gonna laugh at me, something fierce. Anyway, I may or may not show a ton of this process, but I'll give you updates along the way. I'm just kind of slamming this out as fast as I can. Some quick action with a wheel of death, also known as a cutoff wheel. I just eliminated that thing. Used to poke out too far, doesn't matter. It's on the back side anyway. The thing mounts like this, so you won't ever see that anyway. But I'm just going to get some epoxy mixed up and down in there to solidify. As long as I leave a bulge on the outside, it won't be able to suck it down in. Sucky sucky. Let's do this. Alright, that's all sealed up. Got a little ball of it down inside of there too, so it won't come out or go in. It's sandwiched in there, so that'll be good. I used JB Quick Weld because I wanted it done, well, quick. So this is immediately after vacuuming. This part of the intake manifold was completely full of gas. This little pocket was full of gas. This back here was full of gas too. I just soaked that up with some blue rags, checked them, getting rid of that so that I can kind of get after. I'm going to kind of scrape at some of this stuff and see how clean I can get this area before I take the valve covers off. But I'm not going to show any of that just because it's tedious, kind of stupid. I'm going to be scrubbing it with little scrub brushes, using some engine degreaser, different cleaners and whatnot, and just know that that's what it looked like before, and I'll show you the after. And I'm almost out of time today, but I'm going to keep cranking on this and I'll just show you the after. Well, there's the fallout from the degreasing of the top of the motor. It's not perfect, but it's way better than it was. I'll take it. Now it's time to get into those valve covers, see what the valves and springs look like. Missed one. That looks so clean down in there. That is absolutely amazing. That's got to be one of the cleanest 51-year-old engines I've ever seen the inside of. Everything's super tight. All the rockers feel firm like they should. None of the mounting bolts look like they're torqued down any farther than any of the others. Same thing on this other side. Everything inside looks great. This is really good news. The downside is when I pulled these off, smelled fuel really strong. We were washing. I'm afraid we're going to wash out bearings. We got to get that oil out of there before we run this thing anymore. We are going to put the T14 diesel oil in it. It's got all the good stuff, heavy duty. It'll kind of bring that engine right back around. Any issues that it has, it'll soak down in there and really lubricate everything up nice and good. So I'm going to keep cleaning this up. I'll meet you guys over by the parts washer. There was literally a rock inside that valve cover rattling around. It was down inside here. It hadn't gotten down inside because of the little baffle thing that's in there. But yeah, that could have been disastrous. Good thing we caught that. Alright, well, here's the before. We'll get these things into the parts cleaner, get them cleaned up. We're going to put a fresh coat of spritz on them. We're going to stay Ford blue on these top engine parts. It's going to really pop. Let's do it.
Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
Here's the difference after less than 10 minutes of scrubbing. I've still got to go rinse this one off, get the degreaser off of it. It is corrosive. If you leave it on there, it will etch and start eating into the metal, so you don't want to do that. Let's get that thing rinsed off real quick. Alright, it's several days later. That's the nature of the beast. But the next step on this is to drop the oil. Get that oil filter off there. I'm really hoping that they didn't torque that oil filter. Well, it's funny because I usually say torque this thing to northern Idaho. That's where this came from. So I'm hoping they didn't torque it clear to the Canadian border. Oh, hi. Well, it's too late now. The wife needed help taking the leaf out of the kitchen table, shrinking it in size. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, let's get the oil changed. That's what I was saying. Yep. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's a tight fit. Oh boy. We might be going without the creepy crawler. Alright, let's see if we can get this oil filter off of here. Prime Guard oil filter. Oh yeah, okay. That's not so bad. I gotta get that catch pan moved. Oil filter ejection. Let's go. Oh, Okay, whoa, hey, my stool about went out from under my feet. Alright, cool. That actually doesn't look very old. But with the fuel that was down inside the oil from the carburetor, we gotta get that out of there. We're just gonna start fresh. Oh, and I just noticed somebody wrote on there AMZ 664 or AM 2664. Not sure what that means, but 6/17 of 20 was the last oil change, so it's been a minute for sure. The oil was pretty dark coming out the bottom and smelled like gas real bad. Alright, like I said before, we're using the Rotella T4 because it's got all the good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put some in this filter here, just so that we know that there's some in there and it won't take so long for the oil pump to build pressure and stuff like that. So can't get too crazy with it because the filter sits completely sideways in there, but we'll get some in there at least. So off camera, obviously, because I couldn't reach out there and do it, but filled it up a little bit. Gonna moisten the gasket so it seals, makes a good connection, isn't dry, and see how much we can spill out of there. Whoop, okay, take it easy. I heard ya. Try not to make too big of a mess so I know if anything new starts leaking. I'm so gonna tip this jug of oil off of here and putting the lid on right now. See if we can get this back up in there and get it started. Sorry, my head's probably gonna be in the way, but I gotta be able to see what I'm doing. I don't know what angle that thing's at. Oop, there we go. Accidentally caught it just right. Yep. 4 clicks with the torque wrist. Yep, that's all it needs. Nice. Alright, let's put the drain plug back in it. I'm not going to fill the engine until I get the valve covers back on, just because that makes this process easier. Next on the list, water pump. We're going to paint it black, just a flat black. It's going to hide down in there. You don't really want to draw attention to that because it's, well, it's not very pretty. So get a couple of coats of black on there. While that's drying between each coat, we'll drain the fluid and get ready to start unbolting and taking that all apart to put the new one in. Paint, drain, let's go. Quick progress update. Got this sprayed with flat black. Because it's still a little bit shiny, we know it's still wet. That's 2 coats of paint on that at this point. Update over here. We've got the coolant draining out the bottom. I've also, let's see if I can get this light to shine a little better so you can see. I've removed the fan shroud and just pulled it back away from the radiator. That exposes the bolts on the fan itself. Then I can get the fan out of the way and I should be able to lift that fan shroud out of the way and give me all the room that I need to get those bolts off of the water pump. The water pump, that's what we're working on. I've removed some of the hoses already. Still have a couple more to do. Got to remove the lower radiator hose, but I'm letting as much of the coolant drain into a brand new bucket as I can so that I can hopefully save and reuse that fluid. I haven't looked at it. I tasted it because it got in my mouth, but I haven't looked at it to see if it's any good. I'm going to keep cranking away at this and give you progress updates as we go. Give you a quick synopsis. Here's the fan pulley. We're going to clean this up, and every part that we touch we're going to paint with flat black. Took the fan out, Used the wrist saver, as it were. I'll leave a link down below to this thing. This thing is amazing. It works as a regular ratchet, and then once it's loose, then you can use the automatic feature. Going to be spending a lot of time on the wire wheel, cleaning up all these parts, the bolts, and everything. We'll treat the bolts with the AIM penetrating lubricant. Link down below. That stuff is absolutely amazing. And painting parts with the flat black as before. But this is a good opportunity for me to remind you to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's get busy.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be
This bolt's seen some serious moisture.
I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays.
Alright, status update, and mostly just to refresh my mind because it's been a couple days. Slow progress for me. Let me get a light on the subject here. We did get the carburetor mounted. I still need to torque that down though. It's just kind of set in place at the moment. Ran out of time that night. Can still see the valve train. So we've got valve covers right here. These have the first coat of paint on them. They aren't perfect. There was a sticker right there, and so that's kind of coming through. We're going for quick and dirty here. We don't have a lot of time to make all the things that we touch perfect, but we're doing what we can. Oh, wear your respirator when you paint stuff. Save your lungs. Dealing with a cold anyway, so there's that. I do still need to put the lower radiator hose on. So all the things I need to do before I can fire this thing up again. Lower radiator hose, top off the radiator. Make sure I have coolant in there. Put the painted valve covers back on. Fill the engine with oil. I did drain the oil for the oil change, put a new oil filter on there, but haven't added any oil. Must remember to do that. Torque that down, hook up all the linkage. None of that is currently hooked up. I took tons of pictures so that I was able to be sure I could get that hooked back up correctly. We got the brand new water pump on there. The belts are tight. Hopefully they're tight enough. We'll know that when we fire it up, if we get that squealing effect of belts that aren't tight enough. That's when we'll know that, well, the belts aren't tight enough. I think that that's all I need to do. Of course, I've got to hook back up plug wires and whatnot. That's all it will need to run. I do want to pull the spark plugs and put my peepers right upon them and see what they look like. That'll give us an idea of the health of the engine. While I have those out, I'm going to get my bore scope out and look down inside there too. See if I can see any indication of this engine having been rebuilt anytime in its recent past, or far past for that matter. See if it's bored over at all. They put markings on the top of pistons for stuff like that, so you can tell. So that's where I'm going to get to that point, and go from there. Ooh. This doesn't have anything to do with it running or not, but it leaks both transmission fluid and oil from somewhere, and a lot of oil. So I'm going to spend some time cleaning the underside of the engine, just so that I can kind of see, once it runs, where these leaks are coming from. See if it's something that we can tackle and resolve quickly enough. Hopefully it's, you know, a sending unit or something. The Fords are pretty notorious for leaking out of the oil sending unit. That's on a 351. This is a 302. I don't know. But anyway, clean the engine so that we can see where these leaks are coming from and possibly resolve. Also need to change the gear oil in the rear diff. It's leaking a little bit at the front side, at the pinion seal. See if that's something that we can tackle as well. I do want to put some miles on this thing to see, first of all, is it roadworthy? Do brakes hang up, overheat, that kind of thing? And then also how bad the leak is at the pinion, how bad the leak is at the front end, all the things, right? Got some electrical work to do before it's completely roadworthy as well. We do have some work to be done. As soon as these are dry, I'm going to put another coat on those. I want to get 2 solid coats. I am using engine enamel so that it's kind of a high temp. I did put high heat primer on it as well. So those should remain good for a while. They should remain good for a while. Got to get busy. Lots and lots to do. Time for some reassembly. Got the valve covers all ready to roll. Goes this direction. Not perfect, but way better than it was. Cleaned up all the bolts on the wire wheel as well. Hey, weren't you guys supposed to remind me of something? Oh yeah, let's put the oil in. That's a good idea. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, Google. What's the oil capacity of a Ford 302?
On the website classicbroncos.com, they say 6 quarts with a filter change. To find out more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
Ooh. Okay. Well, we'll check it on the dipstick then. One last thing while we're right here, we're going to replace the fuel filter with a clear one so that I can actually see what's happening in there. I am also going to scope the gas tank so that I can see what kind of crud is down inside there. And then we'll have to decide if there's something we do with the fuel tank. Hoping not. That wasn't very tight. Neither was that one. Oh boy. Those might not have been doing anything at all anyways. The fuel line's pretty crusty. May need to change on that too. Oh, wow, that is tight. Good night, Irene. You know what? I think I'll just replace that whole thing. Tiny piece of hose. Not that big a deal. Okay, we just dumped fuel everywhere. Doesn't smell bad. I mean, I don't want to drink it or anything, but it doesn't smell bad. Alright, I got my new line all built. I'm using these little thumb screw thingies out of convenience for being on the road and something going on and not having the perfect set of tools with you. So you don't have to do that. I'm just opting for it this go around. We will definitely be keeping an eye on that though. Alright, lots more sensors to hook up. That's the positive for over here. Yep. That's exactly what that is. Alright, I gotta get this battery tray put back in here. Reattach all the stuff to that sidewall. And make it look sweet. Here's what I'm talking about over here on the passenger side. I disconnected all the electrical stuff, pulled it over, including the heater hose. Have that bungee corded up out of the way. I masked off and tarped plastic wrap. I masked it all off, that's what I'm saying. Clear around here, I got over to not quite half of the front. We did Rust-Oleum rust converter. I scrubbed on the rust a little bit. I didn't do a perfect job because it's not a perfect inner fender. So just making it look better, more presentable, that sort of thing. So this is actually flat black. So the reason it's a little bit shiny is because it's still a tad bit wet. But I'm going to go ahead and start buttoning this back up so that I can get this portion of it done, and then I can focus here again and make sure that all of this, all my spark plug wires, all that stuff is routed appropriately, and just kind of work my way across. Eventually I'll do this inner fender as well, but we have some rust repair to do on that bad boy. That one's pretty much wireless Fidelis, if you remember. Little bit see-through. So no use painting on this, making it all pretty, because we're going to be replacing on that one. And then we'll get it painted and pretty. So let me get this all buttoned up and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alright, so I've got Rig right here on FaceTime on my iPad. Say hi, Rig.
Hey.
Alright, off camera, I did a bunch of work. I got all of the plug wires built and installed. They're routed, they're all cut to a custom length, so they look amazing. Got new cap and rotor. Double checked all my fluids, make sure that the oil's topped off the radiator. Again, it was a little bit low, but I think it just got rid of some bubbles over time sitting. So it's topped off. There's no gas in the carburetor at all at this point, so I need to top off the bowl through the vents using my little ketchup bottle. Let me go grab that real quick. And then we're ready to try this out. Whoa, 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 my lid's falling off my ketchup bottle. Ketchup? I'm so far behind I'll never get caught up. Alright, we ran out of gas in the ketchup bottle, so hopefully that's enough to do something. Turn the key on, otherwise it's pointless. Let me set you guys on a tripod here. And I got my I don't have any friends button, except this time I have a friend. Hey Rig, I have a friend. You're just not here to turn the key for me. Alright, here goes nothing. Couple pumps. Oh, took a second. should have had a screwdriver handy because it won't idle. It won't idle.
Okay.
So I just have to adjust the idle on it. But man, it sounds good. It's smooth. The timing actually sounds like it's pretty much spot on. I'm just going to turn up the idle a little bit here. And try again. Come on. Here. Choke's already opening, so I know that the wiring for that's working. That's good. I don't think the fast idle is set, so I gotta fix that. Where'd my screwdriver go? Right there. It freaking runs, Rig.
Yep, sounds good, man.
Freaking awesome. Smoking like crazy though. I don't know if you can see the smoke in my garage.
Oh yeah.
I can't breathe. Alright, I gotta turn that off. I can't breathe in here. And it runs. Like a freaking champ, if I don't say so myself. That's freaking awesome. Super excited about that. Huge milestone. The fuel pump's pumping like crazy. That gas looks awesome, coming straight from an unknown tank. The guy that we got this from, he was driving it around town, so this was a runner driver when we got it. But we're just doing some basic cleanup on it. More videos to come. But that's it for this video, guys. Appreciate you following along. This is Kermit DeFord. I'm Troy, in Troy's Garage, with Rigs. I don't know why I struggle to say that. His name's Rig, and it's Rig. And he has multiple, so it's Rigs. That's his channel name. Link down below. Follow along. He's going to be doing a lot more videos on this. He also has a 73 F250. Nope. I believe that's an F150. No, it's a 250. It's an F250. It's the dent side model. So now he has a 72 and a 73. His dad has a 79 or a 78 F150. So he has access to a lot of trucks. He's going to be doing videos on his channel for that. So jump over there, subscribe, give him some love. Appreciate that. And then follow along. In the next video on my channel, I'm going to be going through and doing kind of gremlin work. We've got tail lights that aren't functioning quite right. We've got a brake light on the dash that is just on when the key's on. I got to figure out why it's doing that. I'm also going to crawl up under. I started cleaning underneath so I could see where leaks were coming from and whatnot. I stopped doing that in this video because we're going to save that for the next one. But I know that it was leaking from the valve covers because when I pulled the spark plugs, they were just covered in oil. So that's an indication it's coming from those the valve seals, valve cover seals, yeah. And leaking right down onto the spark plugs, the exhaust manifold. The good thing is, well lubricated, and it protects from rust. So that's kind of cool. But those are the type of videos that are coming up. We have ordered a ton of parts for this thing. There's new wheels. We've got, what's this? This is the floor pan for the driver's side. A new seat cover, some sound deadener, a carpet kit showing up here any day. So rig's actually going to come up and spend 2 days, and we're going to gut the interior and do everything on the interior in 2 days. So hopefully, cross my fingers that I don't get called into work, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Gotta feed the family, because this isn't doing it for me yet. So like, share, subscribe, do all those things. That helps me a lot. Check those links down below for other ways to support the channel as well. Again, this is Troy with Troy's Garage, right there, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Christmas, baby. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.